Here I come. There we go.
Okay, there we go. Can everybody hear me in that room? I see heads nodding. Can somebody turn on the mic?
Yes, we can hear you, Bob.
Yes.
Go ahead, Chris. Turn on the mic. Speak into the mic. Chris,
Yes, I hear you.
speak into the mic so I can hear you.
He's talking right now.
I know. He just said yes. I need Chris, turn it on and count to 10.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Seems to be
1.
working one-sided. Okay. Thank you very much. There it is now, stereo. All right, and can somebody else just please humor me and say something into the mic?
Hello, welcome to the
Hello.
DRHPC meeting.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Someone sit down.
How are you? Five, four, three, two, one. It is 6:02. Welcome to the DRHPC meeting. The Zoom ID for tonight is 980-299-59654, and we'll be continuing on with a hybrid in-person and virtual design review and Historic Preservation Commission meeting. And you can find more information about the format on the website. At this time, I'd like to have a roll call, please.
Chair Cormany.
Present.
Oh, I'm sorry. Commissioner Cormany.
Present as well.
Commissioner Hairsty.
Present.
Commissioner Randolph.
Present.
Vice Chair Johnson.
Here.
And Chair Amar.
Present.
Thank you.
At this time, do we have any comments from the public?
Hi, my name is Susan Lindstrom. I'm here regarding 700 Curtin Lane. At the last meeting, we kind of discussed that there would be a letter that might go out allowing potential owners of properties on your historic list to opt in or opt out, or maybe give feedback or something like that. So the only reason I'm here is to just ask if the letter is still in the works, if you guys are going to do that, and just remind you we're waiting for the letter. So that's the only reason why I came tonight. Anybody have any comments?
If it would please the chair, I'd be happy to give a quick update.
Thank you.
That's definitely on our agenda. I've been working with the lovely woman behind you to go over the list and make sure that we have all the correct properties. And once we do that, we will be drafting a letter and setting up a meeting for all the neighbors to attend so they can get some more information.
Oh, yay. Okay, thanks, guys. Have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm Patricia Cullinan, and I apologize. I didn't put the address of the building I was talking about on the letter because I just did it to read myself. This is 553 2nd Street East. Wendy has some photos that I brought. It seems like the demolition of a building that is a contributor to the Sonoma National Register District. The conditions of the building seem to me like actions that are flagrantly disregard the City of Sonoma's building and planning codes, in addition to the buildings having been identified as important to the telling the story of our unique community. The plan you approved did not address the destruction of the front of the house, let alone the work that has essentially demolished the building. The plans that you approved did not show the necessary engineering that would have delineated the needed repairs to make the house seismically safe. I see no evidence of the use of the California Historic Building Code that addresses techniques of construction to historic buildings. Were there building permits that were issued that did not understand the historic nature of the house, and how the Historic Building Code is an essential part of the process to maintain the character of our community? What was the preservation plan for the building? A preservation plan addresses the engineering and building work that will be done to the building. Is that something in the future that needs to be codified so this commission has the information necessary to make informed decisions? And what is our mechanism for the city staff to handle code violations that arise from work that is done outside of the approved building plans? It is also necessary that the historic resource evaluation define the character defining features visually and completely that would allow the owners and their construction team to understand the features that are of value to the resource? Then again, perhaps the builder has salvaged the windows, they're gone, rafters, and any usable siding for reuse. There is preservation technology that addresses old buildings. Does anybody have any questions for me? Did you see, that's a demolished building, and I know that there are demolition regulations when you're doing that. I don't think that it's not a historic resource anymore, and it was really original.
Thank you, Patricia.
Okay.
Can I ask the staff, can we get some clarity on which project that this is? If we have a photo of it before?
The address is 553 2nd Street East, and it did go before Design Review and Historic Preservation Commission last fall.
I think I may know what building it is, but I'm not quite sure with the photo. So,
Is it the duplex that is?
No, I believe the name that people, the O'Farrell, Farrell?
Yeah, the Farrell House, Roger and Mary Farrell.
Is it on the corner of Church and Second?
No, it's in the
It's-
first or second block of 2nd Street.
It's the second house on the west side of 2nd Street from East Napa Street. It was a craftsman house that was all original.
this was the son of the people next to the Victorian.
Staff will prepare a response and
Not that one.
address this issue in December when we're able to notice or put some more comments. I don't believe we can open the issue at this point in time because it wasn't noticed.
Thank you for your comments. We'll look forward to hearing from the staff some more clarity and how to move forward about your concerns. Do we have any other public comments on Zoom?
No on Zoom.
Okay. Now we'll make a motion to review and accept the agenda. Does anyone make a motion to approve the agenda?
I make a motion to accept the agenda as proposed.
Second.
Thank you.
You want to do a roll call?
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Cormany,
Aye.
Commissioner Hairsty,
Aye.
Commissioner Randolph,
Aye.
Vice Chair Johnson,
Aye.
and Chair Marr.
Aye.
Thank you. The motion passes unanimously.
Staff, is there any late correspondence?
The late correspondence is on the dais in front of all of you.
So received. Thank you. Now we'll move to the consent calendar. We have the minutes from the regular Design Review and Historic Preservation Commission meeting on September 13th, 2022. And we have a request to install banners on Plaza Light Standards, Sonoma Valley Historical Society. And we'll move on to the minutes from the regular Design Review and Historic Preservation.
Actually, the items on the consent calendar can be approved in one motion if someone would like to make a motion. Otherwise, you can request to pull one of the items or both of the items off the agenda.
Thank you, Wendy. May we have a motion, please?
I move that we approve the consent calendar items as presented.
Second.
Thank you. At this point, we'll move on to the public hearing.
Do we want to do a roll call?
A roll call.
Commissioner Cormany,
Aye.
Commissioner Hairsty,
Aye.
Commissioner Randolph,
Aye.
Vice Chair Johnson,
Aye.
and Chair Marr.
Aye.
Thank you. The motion passes unanimously.
At this point, we'll move on to the public hearing. We'll start with the first item, number 6.1. This is to discuss, consider, and possible action to approve an application for design review to allow a new elevator on the exterior of an existing office building located at 561 First Street West. Pursuant to Section 15301 of the State CEQA guidelines, exterior alterations are categorically exempt from the provisions of CEQA Class 1 existing facilities. May we have the staff report, please?
Sure. Thank you, Chair Marr and Commission members. The subject property is a 1.4 acre parcel on the west side of First Street West near its intersection at McDonald Street. And the property is currently developed with office buildings and a wine tasting room. The project is in the downtown district area. It's zoned commercial and it's located in the historic overlay zone. In 2018, this commission approved a design review application for a new elevator, or they continued the item and asked the applicant to come back to a future meeting to allow revisions. In June of 2018, this commission approved the design review for a new elevator with the exterior glass and the metal painted to match the existing building color. In December of 2018, a building permit was issued, but the elevator was not installed as approved by this commission, so we instructed the applicant to submit another design review application. And earlier this year, this commission continued the review of the elevator to a future meeting to allow the applicant adequate time to redesign the elevator and to provide a landscape plan. At this time, the applicant is proposing to modify the existing 19-foot tall, 25 square foot elevator on the west-facing elevation of the property by installing a skeleton wood frame with lattice on the exterior of the elevator, painted to match the yellow trim of the building. And that's an error in the staff report. Sorry about that. So there are certain findings this commission must make in order to approve the application. And staff is recommending that this commission approve the exterior modifications subject to findings and conditions of approval. That concludes staff's report.
Thank you. Is the applicant available?
Yes.
Oh, we have a staff question, please.
Wendy, could you confirm the address, please?
561 First Street West.
Okay, on your slides, the second slide says 561 Broadway.
I'm sorry.
I mean, just for your, just so you know.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Ron Wellander. I'm the project landscape architect, and thank you for hearing this project. I don't have a lot of history behind the project other than I was approached by the applicant to see what I could do to provide some sort of softening of the presence of this elevator core. As you can see, the intent was simply to provide a little bit of a veil or a screen that would kind of play down more the, I guess you could call it more of a contemporary look of the the bronze steel framed kind of elevator core, and also do it with an element that doesn't visually weigh too much in the sense of not being solid. There is still some transparency. You can still see beyond the lattice, beyond the overall skeletal frame, the actual tower. If you had the opportunity to visit the site, the principal sight line, of course, is from First Street West, and there is quite a distance from the public sidewalk back. I do believe that the framework and the lattice will provide enough of a kind of a veil that will really kind of take away the obvious difference in the architectural style. I do want to come to the defense of staff. It was not staff's mistake about the white trim. It was my last minute epiphany that said, no, I think if we go ahead and paint this frame structure the same body color, that it would tend to kind of actually be a little less, cause a little less visual attention. So my proposal is that indeed it follow the body color of the existing Victorian building. So with that, I'll be happy to entertain any questions, or I will slip back to my seat.
Thank you so much. Do we have questions for the applicant from the commission?
I will be a man of my word. I'll slip back to my seat.
Thank you. At this time, we'll take any public comments. They're from the folks here in person or from Zoom.
There are no hands raised on Zoom.
Thank you. All right, we'll go ahead and close the meeting to the public, and we'll bring it back to the commission for discussion. Let's have some commissioner comments, please. We'll start with Commissioner Harashti.
I am wondering, I really don't know where this building is. Is it like a 3-story building? I mean, what's the need for an elevator? This is not working, but I guess it's okay. Is it? Yeah.
Well, actually, the public hearing portion has been closed.
Oh, okay. Tell me again what you are asking of the commissioners. Oops, turn it on.
I'd be happy to give a brief summary.
Sure.
The building is a 2-story building, and they wanted to have some access for the ability to have additional rentals on the top floor. And there was access issues potentially for some senior access, and so they wanted to install a elevator that was proposed to us originally. It was very chrome and glass, or steel and glass kind of a look, and we had suggested there was other ways to perhaps camouflage it. And then I believe the last meeting they talked about potentially doing some plantings around it, which we were somewhat amiable to. And then this is the proposal they've since presented to us as a way to make it blend in and be less incongruous to the building. Is that correct?
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Cormany, do you have any comments?
I do. I think that this solution is much better than anything we've seen proposed previously. It seems to address all the concerns, and I think it's a very simple and intelligent way to address the problem. It seems to take care of all the needs. So I'm in favor. It looks very nice to me.
Thank you for that. Commissioner Randolph.
Yes, I would agree with Commissioner Cormany, and we've seen this project a few times, and this seems like the best solution that we've seen so far. So I'm persuaded to approve.
And Commissioner Johnson.
Yeah, I agree with the previous commissioners on this as well. We've seen this project a couple times. It's been since 2018. I'm glad to hear that that this is actually going to be matched a little bit more with the body of the house, which will definitely help with the blending of it. And as Commissioner Cormany said, I think this is a positive solution to the questions that we've addressed. So I'm inclined to vote yes for this as well.
Thank you. I am a fan of this building in general. I walk past it all the time, and I can't believe it was built in 1986. That being said, I'd like to see it preserved well, and I think that this project proposal for the elevator, it's It's very thoughtful, and I think that it will. I think that it will work. And though the building is, it's large, people from out of town may think it's residential back there. I don't think anybody's really fooled. It's not residential really right there. So I think that we can introduce some of these modern elements that will provide for accessibility for folks. So I'm happy with that. Thank you. At this time, would a commissioner like to make a motion to approve? Anybody? Yeah, go for it.
I make a motion to approve. I don't have the agenda with me, but it's the item for the 6.1. 6.2? 6.1. Item report. Did I do that? I'm new.
Staff, is that acceptable?
You could add subject to findings and conditions of approval.
Thanks, Christina.
And then you could say so moved. Just say so moved.
Oh, I forgot already. All right. Just don't have to hold it. Okay. I'm sorry, but
No, you're doing great. You're doing
Okay.
great. Just say so moved.
So moved.
There we go.
I'll get it.
Second.
Thank you.
Do roll call.
Do we have a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Cormany,
Aye.
Commissioner Hefty,
Aye.
Commissioner Randolph,
Aye.
Vice Chair Johnson,
Aye.
and Chair Marr.
Aye.
Thank you. The motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Let's see where we're. Okay, so we're moving on to 6.2, discussion and consideration and possible action to recommend that the Planning Commission approve the design review application of Sally Giftakis for exterior modifications to a commercial building, signage, and landscaping located at 117 East Napa Street. Pursuant to Section 15301 of the State CEQA guidelines, the modifications are categorically exempt from the provisions of CEQA. May we please have a staff report?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for your time this evening. I'm trying out the little clicker, so please be patient. This, as everyone in town knows, this is an exciting opportunity to have a fresh take on our beloved Bear Moon, which has been vacant for quite some time. So this is right downtown between First Street East and Second Street East. The project site is 6,726 square feet and is located on the south side of East Napa Street between the Sonoma Plaza and Second Street East. It's currently developed with an 842 square foot commercial building. It was previously used for a retail store and largely surrounded by commercial development. We have Reader's Books to the north, medium density residential to the south. There's the Nathanson Creek residential development to the south. Bennett Valley Cellars to the east, and a Spiral Jewelry Store and commercial zoning to the west. Some photos of the existing site. Those are the parking spaces that are accessed off of Nathanson Lane. And that's located in our downtown district with a commercial zoning. There's no additions proposed. It's all external modifications. And then the change of use will be evaluated by the Planning Commission. So the action tonight would be a recommendation to the Planning Commission on the design review component and landscape plan and signage. So gosh, sorry, I'm looking up there. I can't see. There we go. Much better. So the use permit component is to support the conversion of the space to a bakery. They'll serve pastries, baked goods that are prepared off-site in a commercial kitchen and brought to the site. Hours of operation are proposed to be 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday through Friday, and a maximum of 2 employees would be on site. There are 3 on-site parking spaces, as I mentioned, on the southern side of the property, accessible off of Nathanson Lane. They're also proposed as part of the project is an accessible walking path, and there will also be bike parking. Part of the project is improvements to the existing landscape areas in the back. There's a beautiful little courtyard that was largely unused with the retail store. And as I mentioned, the conversion of use will require a use permit from the Planning Commission, and that's tentatively scheduled for December. The exterior modifications that are subject to the discussion this evening entail painting the building Kelly Moore Swiss Coffee. The front door would be mint green. The exterior door on the alley would be replaced with a Dutch door. And another exterior rear door replaced with a single swing. The same theme with the mint green. The existing awning would be to match as well and include some signage. The proposed signage would be on the street frontage, non-illuminated, and a cast metal sign that would say Monday Bakery and would be 1 foot tall and 10 feet long. And the exterior lighting on the street front on East Napa Street would be refinished in navy blue Kelly Moore lamppost. Here's the site plan. A little patio. The inside's going to be like. The existing north and south elevations. And here are the proposed. We have the north on the left and south on the right and the east at the bottom. A little bit easier to see on this one. Here's the sign. They included a little sample menu, just for fun. And the landscaping. It's all proposed to be WELO compliant, low drought. Some of the sampling plants include butterfly bush, yarrow, Mexican rock rose, prickly pear cactus, bay laurel, agave, manzanita. Here are the design review findings for consideration. And just another reminder, the recommendation is for the Planning Commission to make a recommendation of approval to the Planning Commission. And the items before discussion this evening are the exterior colors and materials, the site plan, elevation details, and the landscaping. And staff's available for questions.
Are there any questions for staff? Seeing none, I'll ask, is the applicant available?
I'm going to ask Sally to pronounce your last name so I don't butcher it.
You did very well. It's new. I've only been married about 2 years now.
Congratulations.
Hi, thank you. My name is Sally Giftakis. I'm the owner of Monday Bakery, currently in Napa, California. I'm new to this. I'm not really used to this setup here, so I'm here to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you for being here and welcome. Did you want to tell us a little more about your project?
Sure. So like I said, I have a current existing bakery in Napa, California. We've been open since 2019, January of 2019. We have also recently opened a production facility in Napa as well, which is where we will be transporting all of our baked goods from to the Sonoma location. So the build out does not consist of any sort of kitchen build out of any sort. It'll be purely food retail, as well as a really lovely coffee bar with locally roasted beans. We make everything in-house from locally sourced ingredients, with an emphasis on relationships with local farmers, which we would love to incorporate some Sonoma folks in there as well. And really looking forward to expanding into the Sonoma area.
Great, thank you. Are there any questions for the applicant from the commission? Yes, Commissioner Clement.
Yeah, I have one. I was curious on your hours. I was surprised to see that you're not going to be up on the weekends. To me,
Yeah, I'm not
curious
quite
about-
sure.
Is that a good potential in the future? Or
Definitely. That's
I think
definitely
you're
a potential.
Missing a huge opportunity.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we've already communicated from the staff level, just recommending to look at so you don't hinder yourself through the use permit process. For sure, we want to give her lots of flexibility.
Thank you. Are there any other questions?
Are you going to be, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Are you going to be closing that walkway, the alleyway between the two with a gate?
I believe there is an existing
Is there a
gate.
gate there?
Yeah.
Okay, the pictures I was just looking at, I just was going off of that. Okay.
Anybody else? All right. Are there any public comments from anyone here in person or on Zoom?
No, no one is raising their hand on Zoom.
Thank you. There are no more comments from the public we have here. I'll close the meeting to the public and I'll bring it back to the commission for discussion. Let's start with Commissioner Johnson, please.
Thank you, Chair Mar. I think it's a lovely project. It's a nice revamping of that space. It reminds me of Sweet Scoops, so I hope you have as much luck with those colors as they've had with them. But I think everything about the appearance is great, so I would be inclined to recommend all aspects to the Planning Commission for approval.
Thank you. Commissioner Randolph.
Totally agree with Commissioner Johnson. That space is a charming space, I'm sure you know, and it's got a lot of good energy that people have brought in there over the years. And I love your plan for it. It seems like just the right thing to do. I think you are going to be changing your hours pretty quickly. And I hope that does get folded into the use permit because that's going to be popular, I think, for sure, with locals and tourists, I think. So I think a lovely and sensitive use of the space and your colors and graphics, all wonderful. So really looking forward to that.
Commissioner Cormany.
It's interesting how you find out things. You know, I've lived here 15 years plus, and I didn't know there was a road back there. So I didn't even know. And then to see the courtyard and the patio, I thought, what a bonus. And I think the plans that they've developed, the site plan, the elevations, and the landscaping plans, you've went to the right people to help you with this because I think what they presented is really nice. I think you'll be very, very pleased and hopefully be quite successful. I'm very happy. That's a really nice project.
Commissioner Harashti.
I agree with all my commissioners as well. I saw these plans today and was really excited. I had no idea what would move into that wonderful spot that we've all, of course, loved all these years and miss a lot. Again, I noticed I read mint green and went, uh-oh, pink door on the ice cream shop. But it's a beautiful green, and the logo for Monday Bakery is darling, and everything is. So there also, will there be that lamp post put out in front as well? It looks like something. Is that there
I believe
now?
that's a picture of the Napa location, so there's no signpost
okay, because it
proposed.
says match lamp post or down here.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah,
All
the
right.
lamp fixtures are going to be above the sign.
So this, okay, yeah, I see the windows are a little different. All right, well, great. So I agree that, and how do I word the end of that? Just done. Don't have to say anything official. Okay, great. Thank you. I loved it. Loved the whole thing.
Thank you. Yes, I have to say that this is going to be just incredibly refreshing for that spot. I think people kind of avoid looking at it when we're driving down that spot right now. The fresh colors, the beautiful colors, everything's going to come together really well. It's really going to stand out, and I think it's going to be busy. It's really needed, another coffee spot on the plaza. So I do anticipate you being pretty busy. The most interesting part of this building to me is the back facade, the rear facade. So I'm glad you're not changing it, and I would really encourage you to try to preserve that rear piece through the years, as it's just very interesting. It looks very, very historical to me. But I think it's going to be a nice asset to your patio area. And I would also encourage you to just kind of go around to the other plaza establishments and check out what they're doing with their patios, because they're all very successful with what they do, and you get some good inspiration. And it's just going to be an amazing space. So congratulations, and I wish you the best of luck. Thank you. Would a commissioner like to make a motion to approve?
I move that we approve recommending to the Planning Commission the colors, site map elevations and landscaping for Monday Bakery, and I think it's item 6.2. Yeah.
Is there a second?
I second.
May we have a roll call vote?
Commissioner Cormany,
Aye.
Commissioner Harristy,
Aye.
Commissioner Randolph,
Aye.
Vice Chair Johnson,
Aye.
and Chair Marr.
Aye.
Thank you. The motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Now we'll bring it back to the staff. Do we have any items for discussion?
Not this evening.
Oh, thank you.
I do have a couple of issues updates for you.
Yes, please.
So, the planning director Storr is going to be retiring at the end of next week, and we have a new interim planning director starting the following Monday. Her name is Laura Simpson, and she's looking forward to coming and being introduced to you in December.
Does she be living here in Seattle?
No, she lives in Benicia. And she's the interim planning director until a permanent one is selected. Do you have anything, Christina?
No, not at this time. As I mentioned earlier in the public comments, we are moving forward with our evaluation of the historic properties and just really trying to take a little bit of time to make sure that our list is as comprehensive as possible, and then we'll be continuing with our owner outreach.
Is Director Storr going to stay on that project, or
I'll be taking that over.
you're going to? Okay. Awesome.
Thank you so much, staff. Anything else? Okay. Well, I think we'll go ahead and adjourn this meeting at 6:36.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.